In the previous video, we've added all our content to our content project and built it. Now it's time we draw some sprites. We need to create two fields for our textures. Both are of type texture2D. We call one background and call one hero. We can then load our textures in the loadContent method. There, we can use our textures using the content manager. We can access the content manager via this.content. The content manager has a generic method called load. Generic means we can specify a type, in this case texture2D. The load method has one argument, being the path to the asset. The path is the folder structure followed by the name. In this case, if we go to the properties, we can see that our background texture is named background, so we just specify background. We do the same for our hero texture. Instead, we use hero as argument. Now let's go back to the initialize. We want to change the size of our window. This is because our background has a resolution of 1280 by 720. By default, our window is going to start at 800 by 600. So we want to change that. We can do that in the initialize by using our graphics device manager. Our graphics device manager has a property called preferred back buffer width. We can use that property to set the width of our back buffer, so of our screen, in this case 1280. It also has a property called preferred back buffer height. We set that to 720. Then we want to apply the changes we've just made. We can do that by calling graphics.applyChanges. Then we can go to the draw method to draw our sprites. Drawing sprites is always done in a specific way. First, we need to call begin on our sprite batch. This sets all the correct states on our graphics card to draw 2D objects. So we are actually telling our graphics device that we are ready to draw 2D objects. Then we can draw all our objects using spritebatch.draw. After we've done this, we can call spritebatch.end to reset the states to the way they were before we called begin. Using states, we can, for instance, enable transparency. Spritebatch.draw has several overloads. We will use the one that has a texture, a position, and a color as arguments. The first argument is a texture, being the texture we want to draw. In this case, we'll first draw the background. The second argument is a position. We'll draw the background at position 0, 0, which is the top left corner of our screen. The x-axis is on the horizontal plane. So we start at the top left at 0 and we go up to 1280 as we go to the right. The y-axis is on the vertical plane. So we start at 0 at the top left corner and we go up to 720 as we go to the bottom. So when we draw our background at 0, 0, we draw it at the top left corner of our screen. Finally, we can specify a tint color. If we pass color.white, we will not tint our objects. Then we can draw our hero. Note that we have to draw our hero after we draw our background. Order is important. If we draw our hero first and then our background will be in front of our hero. We don't want that, so we want to draw our background first and then our hero. We will position our hero at the center of the screen to the bottom. So, as x position, we take the width of the screen divided by 2. And as y position, we take the height of the screen minus the hero height. If we now run our project, we can see a background and our hero. In the next video, we're going to move our hero.